The fantasy news must undulate. Welcome everybody to another episode of Fantasy News. I am your disheveled goblin host, Daniel Green, at a slightly different camera angle. Let me know if you think it's better or not. Daniel Green! And today we have a tasteful tapestry of fantasy news to go ahead and tickle our way through. I do regret that word choice. And of course, we need to kick off today's fantasy news with the incredible update from Brandon Sanderson. That's right, alongside his massive Kickstarter project, Sanderson has announced he is going to be releasing a rap album in collaboration with Death Row Records. Under the name Little BS, the album Stormblessed will feature 7 tracks titled On Stormfather, Off Stormfather, Unsafe Hands, From the Ash, The Brandy Fantasy, Right Like Me, and of course, Kickstart This. This will be released next month, and I'm just really excited to see what Sanderson can bring to hip-hop. I know this is kind of a strange story, but you can check the source down below for legitimacy. It's just a really weird update if you're signed up for his newsletter. But moving on from there, of course, we need to talk about the very exciting Wheel of Time news, because we have finally gotten our casting for Aviendha, the gateway into the Aiel. That's right, Eluia Smart, best known for her role in Killing Eve, will be taking on the best known, I would say, and most fleshed out character of the entire Aiel culture. And that's quite the undertaking. As I've said many times before, the Aiel are my favorite culture within the Wheel of Time, and maybe just one of my favorite elements of the series. I never like to judge actors before I see their performances, so I'm going to be waiting to see at least like a trailer clip where we get to see what she'll be bringing, what the Aiel will actually be like. I'm very excited for that, but it's also so key to my enjoyment of Season 2, which I'm hoping will be a step up from Season 1, that it also makes me a little bit nervous. But I guess I'll end this by saying best of luck to the actress, and good on the casting people for finding someone who looks very tan with red hair. But in the piece of news that got me the most excited today, we had an update from Fonda Lee in regards to her future writing works. With the Greenbone saga officially done and moving into the past, Fonda Lee has tweeted, "I haven't told my agent or editor this, but I'm excitedly developing what might turn into a 6-book fantasy series." Now, the most important word in that tweet for me is might, because Fonda Lee, if you could make it like a 26 to 42 book series, I think that'd be great. With Fonda Lee already finding great success with the Greenbone saga, which is a fairly niche genre within fantasy, it is urban crime fantasy, I'm really curious what she's going to see next. Is she going to approach something that's a bit more mainstream mass appeal fantasy than this specific niche, or is she going to continue being an author who kind of just finds a story that is rather hyper specific within genre and tell it? Let me know if you have any predictions of what Fonda Lee might be pinning next in the comments down below. But it wouldn't be a great episode of fantasy news without a cover reveal. That's why I'm excited to bring to you Joan He's Strike the Zither, what she describes as her reimagining of the classic 3 Chinese kingdoms. That cover hits. But we're gonna move on from there into what is, without a doubt, the coolest piece of fantasy news of the day. And that's going to be the fact that there is a VR mod in the works for Elden Ring. Luke Ross, who previously added virtual reality to Grand Theft Auto 5 and Cyberpunk 2077, said in a Patreon post that there is going to be a playable version of Elden Ring in VR available to his followers this week. I didn't think this was real. I did not believe it until I actually saw the video on his YouTube channel. And holy crap, I knew modders were doing some pretty extraordinary things, but the actual combination of Elden Ring in VR is just... what? I do need to add the asterisk that I have never played a mod from Road to VR. I am not entirely sure how well it will come across, but I have seen other people speak on mods from Luke Ross before and say they are great. And with me not being an expert in the area by any means, I do not want to make any promises aside from just the fact that we got this video, they're saying it's going to be available, and personally, if you're going to spend money, I would wait to see reviews from people you trust before actually diving on into this Elden Ring VR experience. All that being said though, super cool. But if VR is not your thing and you're still looking to burn a few hours this week, why not try out a free classic game? Because the Elder Scrolls franchise has actually just released a few of its games for free on Steam. This includes Elder Scrolls 2 and Elder Scrolls Arena. Elder Scrolls 2 Dragonfall being free is absolutely something you should try. It's a very charming classic game. But notably, if you've been holding off on trying many Elder Scrolls or this franchise as a whole's products, this is coming alongside several price drops for just many of their games as well. So apparently I'm turning into deal hunter news. This is fantasy news deal hunting now. Is this something you care about? Maybe I'll never do this again in the future. Now, in a bit of a will they won't they fantasy news story, Matt Reeves has finally confirmed that The Batman 2 is officially being worked on, with the entire original team attached, including, of course, Robert Pattinson. I saw The Batman and liked it fine enough. I think it's far from the best Batman movie ever made, but certainly an enjoyable experience. With me not being as positive as a lot of people seem to be on this movie though, I'm still excited for a sequel. It does feel like a version of Batman that could benefit from being further fleshed out. We can see the Bruce Wayne persona especially built up. Only thing I do not want to see, and it's saying this is a large reason why I'm even covering the story, please do not make it about the Joker. We've gotten enough of the Joker. There are other interesting Batman villains, and most importantly, the Joker post-credits scene that was shoehorned in the Batman was absolutely the low point of the movie for me personally. Don't do the Joker again, for the love of God. Just write another one of Batman's villains as well as the Joker is often written. Please.
And in a last-minute fantasy news insert, like really, it's 8:30 a.m. day of release here, and it goes out at 9 for me. We've also had the titles announced for all 4 Avatar sequels. First, it will be Avatar 2, The Way of the Water, Avatar 3, The Seedbearer, Avatar 4, The Tolkien Rider. I'm just thinking Tolkien Rider, that's weird. And Avatar 5, The Quest for Eywa. And these will be coming out in 2022, 2024, 2026, and 2028 December. Are there a lot of Avatar fans out there? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I know there's Airbender fans, but are there blue hair sex people fans? I don't know. I've never met one. Anyway, back to the news.
We also had Jim Butcher coming out and announcing the release date for his upcoming Dresden novella, The Law. It appears this Dresden entry will be reaching its fans July 5th, and it will be narrated by Jim Butcher. Jim, where is Spike? Where is Spike, Jim? And an exciting update for Dune fans. It appears that the upcoming HBO Dune series, Dune: The Sisterhood, has snagged the Chernobyl director Joan Renck. Yes, Joan Renck worked on Chernobyl, but also Breaking Bad, Bloodline, and The Walking Dead. That is a very good directorial grab for Dune: The Sisterhood. Good God. And in the final story we're going to cover here today, I'm actually going to shift gears on into the MCU, which is not something I typically like to do here on Fantasy News because of how much it is covered everywhere else. But because I have a personal connection to this story, I figured I'd go ahead and say my piece. That's because apparently the Saudi Arabian government has asked Disney to remove 12 seconds of footage from the upcoming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where America Chavez refers to her 2 mothers. And I was already kind of disappointed to hear that we are still removing just the existence of gay people from movies, apparently. But hey, good on Disney for actually refusing, because they are notorious for giving in to demands like this, or even writing certain relationships so they can be removed very easily to just fall in line with bigoted governments who can't handle the fact that gay people exist. But my personal connection to this is, hey, I have 2 mothers. I was partially raised by a lesbian couple who not only set an incredible example for me growing up of what a healthy and loving relationship should look like, but are 2 of just the best people I know in the world. And myself being a bi man, it of course kind of irks me to hear of governments doing this, because like, my moms actually exist and you just trying to remove them from movies doesn't mean they won't. I can't believe that you're that afraid of a gay couple. But I also saw an incredible amount of people who were just in Twitter replies and retweets who live in America or wherever, definitely outside of Saudi Arabia, just showing support of the idea of removing this dialogue. My mother's and my own's existence are not for anyone to question or censor, and yes, having a singular one hero appear in the MCU who has gay parents isn't some incredible woke agenda overreaching. Gay people exist and they raise people. Hi, I'm right here. I'm not from Disney, just trying to shove some woke agenda in your face. We exist. I exist. It's not anything I choose or anything I'd change. It's who I am and how I was raised. And guess what? I'm probably a way better person than most of the people who are trying to get this stuff removed from movies. We're not trying to indoctrinate anyone. We're not trying to do anything except, get people used to the idea that LGBTQ plus people exist. But Disney, good on you for standing up for this 12 seconds. Maybe next time actually write characters who can't just be removed in 12 seconds because some bigot gets upset. But this has been your latest episode of Fantasy News. Like and subscribe if you have not already, and hit the Patreon if you want to support what I do here. I got books and merch. Have a good one. Bye!